I'll add something. I see, first of all, I see that Raul is asking very pragmatically, in my view. He's saying, will we be able to hold on to this, to keep this from happening in another 6 months, in another year? Why should we expect a change if it hasn't happened for, say, 400 years? And I think that's a very relevant question, and I think he hits the point exactly. And that's exactly what we should be bringing up here. We're not going to be able to solve this. We're not going to be able to change anything. Everything exactly is going to happen like this again. What happened now simply shows us that we haven't done anything about racism or police brutality or violence in society or any kind of inequality, because we haven't dealt with the root of the problem. That's the whole point. The root of the problem is that human beings have to evolve. We can't just try to be nice to each other. We can't try to create some sort of a politically correct mentality over our faces, try to use fake smiles towards each other. We can't try to do some equality in the workplace and that will create it. No, 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 no. There's a reason why we are so different and so resistant to connection with each other. There's a reason why we hate each other. Literally, there's hatred that's boiling in each and every person towards his fellow man, and especially when it comes to groups of people against other groups. This is there deliberately, because only through rising above these differences without eliminating them, using them to complete each other into a single whole, into a single picture, we can come to a whole other level of evolution. And that's what human beings are required to do. What nature is doing right now is showing us that we're not going to be able to, smear it and cover it up and shove it under the carpet. We can't do that anymore. Human society is becoming increasingly interconnected, increasingly interdependent. Every situation like this now that's going to happen can immediately start a fire and blaze through not just cities but countries and continents. We are one and we have to live with each other. Now, how do we do that? We cannot do this if we don't get an upgrade. We literally have to upgrade our minds and our hearts. This is beyond our normal thinking about coexisting, which is just, you'll stay in your corner, I'll stay in my corner. We need to evolve into different creatures. We need to become interconnected beings. That requires spiritual transformation, nothing less than that. And that's what the wisdom of Kabbalah needs to give to humanity. That's why Baal Sulam says in that article we just read, Can you bring the quote up again? Sure. 1 second, actually. There you go. So he says, it is certain and unequivocal that the purpose of creation lies on the shoulders of the whole of the human race, black or white or yellow, without any essential difference. Meaning that there's a reason why we're black, white, or yellow, because only together we can put together this picture of the purpose of creation. There's a reason why there's males and females. There's a reason why all of creation is divided to plus and minus and many other different intricacies, because life is created between opposites. We, as human beings, we don't know how to create this kind of life in society. We are just keeping our distance from each other. Or even worse, and that I think is what's happening in America, saying this as an outsider perspective, people have been trained to not touch these differences, to put them aside, to put a fake smile on, to avoid anything of real integration. But it's not just there, it's everywhere. So the hatred that you have brewing between blacks and whites is not less or different than what it is between Israelis and Palestinians. We're dealing with the same problem, and that is the human ego at the core that doesn't let us build this new level of evolution. The only way to go forward is to correct the human ego. That's why violence is not going to help us. And as angry as people may be, it's just not gonna. That's not what's going to solve it. spiritual transformation, and the way to start is education.